Center. Call 478-934-13.
Glad you came in this morning.
I'm glad to be here.
All right, let's do this. Talking to the Town is on the air. It is a Monday edition brought to you by our friends at Wholesale Builder Supply, Dodge County Hospital, Lisa's Corner Market, Massengill Service Experts, Wolf Creek Equipment. Big hello to Ryan Drug Company this morning. Thank you for sponsoring Talk of the Town. Georgia's Own Credit Union is sponsoring this very segment along with our friends at Wolf Creek Equipment. It's our pleasure to have back in the studio with us this morning one of the nicest guys in barbecue, Eugene Brandon, a.k.a. NABO'S. How you doing, man?
NABO'S
You know, somebody asked me, was that you
Total
singing?
satisfaction.
You know that?
That's not me, though.
I know. I just tell us I know.
That's not me.
It's not this.
Really, man, it's the guy who's singing just literally walked into the studio, and my dude who's the producer just grabbed him and said,
sing this.
No, not sing this, because he didn't know what to sing. He showed him some of the things that we had, some posts and things that we had, and he just off the top of his head
Came up with that.
The first time he did it, he pronounced NABO'S wrong. I said, you know what you were doing? You were trying to trademark that. You were trying to get it.
Barbecue.
That's exactly what he did.
Right.
And then when they cleaned it, he said it was one take, and then they cleaned it up, and it's been that jingle, man. It's very catchy. Folks really enjoy it.
Yeah, people know it, man.
And it's to me, it bridges two great genres, country and hip hop.
They did a good job for you, for sure.
How you doing this morning,
I'm
man?
good. Where are you kicking at this week?
Oh man, working. We'll be in Cochran on Wednesday and Friday, and
where you gonna be in
Abbeville in Cochran. We're over in old Badcock Furniture.
The Verizon over there?
Yes, parking lot.
Across from the old high school.
And on Thursday, we're in Abbeville.
We're in Abbeville.
At Mount Zuma. Yeah, Righteous Church. That's right there in front of the Piggly Wiggly store right there. Mm-hmm. And Saturday, we'll be here in Eastman. No, excuse me. Saturday, we're in Milan.
Okay.
Jack has us coming over to Milan on Saturday.
What's going on over there?
Well, they have a truck over there. His truck is there. Shout out to Puck's Grill.
Puck's truck.
Puck's Grill on wheels. Shout out to that dude. Awesome dude. And great food. He's normally there Monday through Friday, and he decided he was going to just chunk out his Saturdays to go do other things. Mm-hmm. So they're rotating other trucks in on Saturdays. It's
awesome.
great. It's like these small towns. They don't have any.
So I was going to say, so it's not like there's anything going on festival-wise.
No.
What you're doing is you're keeping these folks from having to drive out a mile and all the way into town to go get something for lunch.
Yeah,
they're able to come to you.
They're able to come over there locally and get us.
That's a good idea.
We were there at the beginning of the month and did fairly well.
Good.
And so we used to go to this is really wild. We're going into our third year, mm-hmm. and in this third year, man, it's been nuts for me trying to ping pong and find that groove for us.
Yes.
The first year we bounced around to a lot of places,
mm-hmm.
and the brand hadn't developed yet. So
you were still young.
We were still young, so we didn't have that much of a following. And then the second year in 2024, we sat still at the restaurant. Then we bounced back out on the road again, and now it's like now the brand is carrying itself a little bit better. And we got folks that are showing up. We got folks that are actually, they'll call. I try to get everybody to follow us on Facebook and Instagram. I'm always posting where we're going to be, what's the schedule is for the week. And so we got folks who are not Facebook folks, so they just call. And they're calling like, where are you today? Mm-hmm. Where are you? And we've had folks travel from town to town to come see us. So wow. that's really groovy, man. That's a groovy.
That is groovy.
If somebody wants it. But
let me ask you that real quick, because you're very popular at that Walmart spot, and you did not mention that in your lineup this week.
Not this week.
We'll not be at Walmart this week. Possibly back next week.
Next week, yes. Okay. We're gonna.
Some people are gonna be asking.
Yeah, we'll be in Walmart next weke. 4th of July is next week.
What are you doing there?
We will be in Cochran.
Melissa said you were coming to be part of the Chamber Fireworks.
Yeah, to the Chamber Fireworks.
Okay. Good.
Shout out to Melissa and over at
She's
Chamber.
Great, isn't she?
The whole program is phenomenal. We got a chance to go speak on their behalf to their city council. And man, I think that was just a great opportunity, not just to spread us, but to also give the props over there to Melissa and what she's done over there with their chamber.
Let's talk about something else too, and this is something that we really need to get out there because this is something you do for people all the time, and that's catering.
So this past, it was really interesting. God has developed us in a way that when we might have an event with about 100 people or 75 people,
right,
and it's a particular menu, and that's like a building block for a larger event or larger catering or on-site or off-site catering. This past week, we had a catering over in Fitzgerald over at the peanut butter plant.
Mm-hmm.
And man, that was definitely something different. It was catered, but we had 4 separate deliveries to that place in 2 days. So we had 11 a.m. lunch, 11 p.m. lunch on Thursday.
Wow, 11 p.m. lunch?
11 p.m. lunch on Thursday.
So you had to go serve food at night?
We had to go serve food.
What was that like?
Man, you know...
that's got to be kind of a whole different kind of atmosphere when you're doing food like 11 o'clock
yes,
at night.
but the energy was... You start early Thursday morning.
Yeah.
And you're gone the whole day. So during the middle of the day, I let the crew shake loose. Then we pick back up again about 5 o'clock. I never stopped. I was trying to get ready for the Thursday evening and also prepare for Friday morning's thing. So that ride coming home, I'm glad I had somebody who used to work there driving.
Yeah.
I think I sat in that seat and it was gone. And and this was really different. The menu, we had fried chicken, collard greens, macaroni and cheese, cornbread, and peach cobbler.
No complaints there, man.
No, so that was that right there is something that was developed in doing events because I was really concerned about the fried chicken and the travel between here and Fitzgerald.
Well, if you really wanted to anger those people, you could just brought them a bunch of peanut butter sandwiches.
Well, I would have brought them jelly smack.
You had to put with the peanut butter. They got plenty of the peanut butter over there.
Plenty of peanut butter.
So when you do a catering job like that at 11 o'clock at night, how long? What does that entail? How long do you usually have to hang around once you initially get the party started?
Man, we set each day got a little easier because the first one. That first one was like, okay, how is this going to look? How it is, but the first one also had the largest number, so had the largest amount being served that night, and they wanted the boxes prepackaged, so we had to get there a little earlier, and because they shut the plant down for an hour, so they wanted they wanted everything to be ready so they could just grab and go and break for that the longest time in an hour. So that first one was once we got past that first one, the other ones became a little bit more easy because now we knew what we were doing. I had a routine. I had a schedule. I knew what we keep. And the one thing that I love doing is getting there early. I'd rather be somewhere on a site really early where I have everything done and I'm twiddling my thumbs for 30, 45
versus being
minutes.
in panic mode.
Opposed to being in panic mode. So you have to start early and then you always think, well, I got plenty of time. Actually, you don't ever feel that way. You just always put yourself in the panic mode until everything is set, the table's ready, everything is set for that client.
And then you can draw a breath and relax.
And then you can draw a breath and relax because there's in catering I've learned there's pretty much only 2 things that I can control.
Okay.
One is being on time.
Right.
And 2, making sure the food is hot.
Yeah.
So those are the 2 things that I can't control if your guest likes our food or not. I just want to make sure that client, that one who dotted the I that called us up,
that they're satisfied.
They're more than satisfied. They're exceeding that. They're happy with things right there.
Now, run us through the whole gamut. Now, for people that may be having a get-together, family reunion, party, anything like that for the summer, what can you provide?
So, man, our menu is wide open. Even though you see us do barbecue on the truck, our menu is wide open. Just like this past event, event we had, they had fried chicken. The church I attend, they've opened us up because the lady who's over that, she used to be in catering, so she turned it over to us, and she comes out with all kind of different things. Like one time we did breakfast for them, and that was salmon patties, grits, and eggs.
Yeah.
So we did fried fish. We've done spaghetti. We've done grilled pork chops. We've done a plethora of different sides. So the proteins are wide open. Plus, we've done events locally in which we had roast beef on the menu. We've done steak and potatoes. It's just wide open. The larger your event, you should call us ahead of time, as much in advance as you can, so you can get your menu planned out, and also just get things in order for your planning, opposed to at the last moment, because they're going to be extra charge you're a week or 2 weeks out, and you want to book this event. We'll do it, if we've got the open date, but it's going to cost you a little bit more, because there's a sense of urgency that you have, what was the old saying? Your sense of urgency for being late doesn't constitute, me having, but we just try to, whatever it is that client needs, we try to be that caterer that just catches them, right where they need it. Right, if there's deliveries, like we did those 4 deliveries, or if we're on site, like we have a upcoming event here, and thank you, Lord, over in Dublin. It's the district. We won this quote for feeding the district, the cafeteria workers from 10 different districts. So we're talking about 450.
Right.
So I'm looking forward to that. That's I'm in the planning stage for that. So great menu. That's the first part about it. And then, getting a group of folks together that can come in that day and serve, just getting there and getting ready, making sure the client has what they're. Now, these are people from food people, so it's a little bit more heightened, eyeballs on you, what you're doing. So, we got to make sure, we try to make sure with everyone, everything is top notch, turned up. In this particular case, I'm going to rich it up really, really high.
Good. We know you can, no doubt about that. Now, how much ahead of time do you need to do?
Man,
parties most times.
We'd like to have as much time in advance, especially for larger events. But man, we've had things come through, especially that also deals with our better pricing. If I can do it in my regular orders, I have the better pricing. But now, if you come with us at a short period of time,
extra ordering.
Not the extra ordering, because they won't deliver on these odd days. Now
you got to go get it.
I got to go get it.
I got you.
So that's going to cost more, because now I've got to go
that makes sense.
to Dublin or Hawkinsville.
So if you know about something into summer or a fall party, go ahead and talk to you.
Yeah, come on and talk to us. We got a party coming up here, and it's already booked for October. And we got a Thanksgiving event that's already also booked for November. So we've got some long-term, large bookings coming up later in the year. I remember, true story. I remember in the very, very beginning, when I first started this, I showed up to an elementary school that my son was going to at the time, and he just recently graduated high school. But it was in kindergarten. I showed up, and it was a teacher appreciation. And I showed up with a pan of chicken. And I was just giving out the chicken to the staff just to say thank you for what they've done. And there was this one teacher, and she ran through all the hallways looking for me. And this was at the beginning of the year, so this was more like August, September. And she's like, I want to book you. Okay, when? For May. And I was like, at first I was like, May? Like, what about today? What about today? She says, no, I need you for something in May. And it was that event that kind of let me know, kind of gave me, booking those things way in advance. You put them on the calendar. That's something that shows up when you need it.
Right.
You don't, it's there. It's almost like a savings or something that you can't touch. It'll be there when you get there. So that's been something that's been something to look forward to. Especially during times when it's a little slow, like November, Thanksgiving. There's some revenue coming in when there's a little period of time, and two, there's something to pinpoint into something and work around and get to. So.
Well, you've built an incredible business. It's still going.
Man.
Tell people how and where they need to call to book their parties.
So you can call us at 770-580-0227. Once again, that's 770-580-0227. It's NABO'S BBQ. We're located at our restaurant is at 5951 7th Avenue. So we can do on-site catering. And if you book us for us to cater at our place, we don't charge you for the building. We cover you cover the catering, the food, and things like that. We can do on site. We can bring the food truck out there to your corporate settings. We can do deliveries. We can do deliveries in the daytime. We can do deliveries at night. The menu is wide open for your choices. So if it's something that we can find or put together, we'll get it. And then also check for us on our Facebook and Instagram. Each week and each day we're posting our locations. So right now we're in Eastman, Cochran, and Abbeville and Milan. But we're also looking to include Hawkinsville and McRae and maybe somewhere else, another area that's within like a 20-mile radius of us.
All right. Now, you're going to be back in with us next month. We got more to talk about. July coming up, fireworks coming up.
Yes.
Final words for our listeners, Eugene.
Hey, man, put God first in everything you do. As long as you've got God first, man, when those adversities come up, you're just like you're more battle prepared. You have that confidence. You have that faith that you'll get through those adversities, because we all going to have them.
That's
they're
right.
there. And God has definitely been good to us over these years. And so thank you, G, for how you guys have looked out for us over the years. I really appreciate it, man.
Can't wait to talk to you again. Keep up the good work.
God bless you, man.
Eugene from NABO's Talk of the Town of Service of Wolf Country News. You want to be on air? Call Wanda, 478-396-9554.
Amen.
God bless you, man.